Well, the new update. Last release was July 4th. Wowzers. So, from July 1st, July 2nd, and July 3rd, it averaged the same 200 people. Just around 200 people. But on July 4th, it peaked at a 4,000 people. Almost 4,000. That's something. Obviously, that was the update day. It's a day after now. And it's starting to get a little bit closer to the average now. So we do have a good almost 2,000 average with a max of almost 3K. Now that is pretty good numbers, and I'm hoping it stays that way for the remainder of everything. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Hello everyone, welcome back to Armyland, and today I present to you a little bit late, but your promised video of going over the big comeback. This is the big update, and okay, this is gonna take a while, like a long while. So, what we have here is obviously we're gonna start with the obvious changes being the new UI. There's a new chat menu thing. There's a new player list. It's not at the right side, top right, but instead it is at the top middle, and it is also differently styled. So before it was the squares or rectangles, whatever you want to call them, but now it is just you have your own circle and you're highlighted in blue or red if you're playing ranked, or something else if you aren't playing ranked. The scoreboard is also changed a little bit. Now you can press tab at any random time to check the scoreboard, basically, which shows you in real time how much damage, kills, and income a player has, I think, which is pretty nice. There's also the new camera thing that is also by tab, which by pressing C, which is the keybind for it, I think you look north, but I'm not sure on that. But I think you just automatically look north. There's also the new mini-map. Very obvious things and that is the mini-map. It's a pretty cool feature. I do have one thing that I noticed and I didn't like, was that I think that produce should not be the same as the civilian and income. I think it should be different. Instead of being like a square on the mini map, I think it should be like a triangle or something. But either way, it's a really good feature. I really do like the mini map. I haven't gotten used to it. It's day 2 of playing this update, and it takes a while to get used to something like this changed. There's new keybinds, obviously. Now, T instead of M is select troops, which is incredibly hard to get used to. I mean, if you change your keybinds in a game by your choice, it takes forever to get used to them. But if the keybinds are changed not by your choice, that is very difficult. And another obvious feature is the new pinging. It's not completely obvious. Most people haven't even noticed it because, unless you accidentally press Alt and your mouse at the same time, that's when you see the menu. If you're not connected to the updates at all, but if you are, just here for the update, then you will probably notice, because it's pretty different. And here is the less obvious things from when you first joined, but still pretty obvious. There's a new shotgunner unit. Now, this is the first unit that we've gotten since the Humvee, or first new unit, which is very good. It has terrible range, but the fact that it kills a group of people, it's basically like a worser and cheaper version of the Rocketeer. But yeah, it also does some incredibly high damage. So yeah, basically the Rocketeer. It's really cool. I do like the unit. I would like to know your guys' opinions though. Moving on, there is a new missile defense. Now, this is to counter the completely overpowered missile trucks, even though there is still a way to counter these missile defenses if you just have a bunch of missile trucks. And the missile defenses do take an incredibly long time to build, and also an incredibly long, not long, but they cost an incredible amount. 10K. I'm pretty sure it's the most expensive thing besides the oil rig. So yeah, which makes sense because they are pretty overpowered if it's early game and you don't have enough money for rigs, or not rigs, missile trucks. There's also a new promo code feature implemented into the lobby UI. There were 3 promo codes that were introduced, but by the time that I'm recording this, there's only 2 because one was a limited time only. So you cannot activate those. You can find those in the description of this video, so go ahead and scroll down there if you want to use them if you haven't already. There's also a heavily discounted starter pack. This is incredibly good. It's also very limited time. There's also the new steampunk rewards, or skins, that were only here for a limited time, and I couldn't get them back in the day when they were here, but now I can again, and I trust me, I'm going to the moment I get the chance to get some Robux and gems. So yeah, there's also the new daily rewards, which is something I'm sure people have been wanting for a very long time. Obviously, the next thing they want is to earn gems from wins, which would add an incredible need to play blitz and stuff. Obviously, it should be like 10 gems per win or something like that. Nothing too overpowered, to the point where you're getting like 100 gems per blitz win or something. Blitz should also give less than casual because it is blitz after all. Or maybe more because there's more skilled people, whatever they want. There's also double the amount of gems purchased through the amount of Robux that you are paying for, which is also a good feature because if you thought they were overpriced, then there you go, they're half the cost now. There's new pathfinding, so they're a little bit smarter, at least I think. I'm not too sure on that. There is also a smoother building placement system, according to Appalachia. The default soldier outfit has also been changed slightly, and there are new cursor icons. There's also new animations. There's a limping animation for when a soldier is hurt, which makes them move slower than they did before, and there is a running and sprinting animation, which is sprinting is when they are fully full health, and the running is when they are just about close to their position. They start to slow down, which isn't much of a difference. It doesn't really matter, but you can also, when you are in a queue, you can see the amount of players in queue as well. Before you could see it when you selected the game mode, but now you can see it on the actual finding a game menu thing, which is cool. And as my most liked part about this update is that Blitz has finally returned. You know, I've been wanting to be able to get these wins off, and you will see me play that later in this video, but obviously I had to get some ranked in, you know, like every Paragon was demoted to Gold 3, I gotta at least get Master. You know, I was never a leaderboard, but maybe I will be this time, who knows. Oh, and builders will also now move to an empty tile. An empty tile after constructing a building. Or, no, not any building, but a production building. So anything like a training camp, vehicle factory, harbor, those three. There's also part of the new keybinds is that there is the F1 to F6 for cores. So if you're in ranked, press F1 and F2 to switch between the two cores. And then if you're in unranked, F1 to F6 is all the cores. I'm pretty sure F1 is always your core, but correct me if I'm wrong. And there is a new there's revamped player banners when you are in the lobby screen. As you can see when I'm in the lobby, or when you're in the lobby, there's your little animation for your character and your avatar. And yeah. And oh yeah, I was talking about Master a little bit. That is also a new rank. So yeah, it's between Gold and Paragon if you were wondering, but you can always just check the ranks tab. And Paragon is only the top 30 players now. If you aren't top 30, then you will be Master. If you have enough rating points, I think that's what RP stands for, but if you have enough RP, then you will become top 30 and Paragon, or promote to Paragon. And there's also a new visual health bar, and there's a new fog for when you are defeated. The screen will be like red, which was pretty cool. When I first saw that, I don't know why I thought it was so cool, but it was. There's also a skill difference between party members that has been added, so that now that there can't be alt farmers, so if you are, say, unranked, you cannot rank with a gold or Paragon or anything like that, or maybe even silver, but I don't know about that. I don't know how much of a significant gap it is, but I just know that you can't be too much of a gap. It might be like if you it might be like if you what you can matchmake against. So like if you're silver 3, you can matchmake against like gold 2, and that's what your teammate can be. Okay, and then there's also a revamped rally point indicator, so it actually like has arrows from the building showing you where you're going, or where they're going, the troops. Like I mentioned before, there's a reset Paragon player MMR. MMR has also been removed. It's now RP. MMR and every Paragon has been reset to Gold 3. And there's also been the new leaderboard tab. It's up there. And there's also the new invite plus icon that's next to your player icon when you're in lobby. That's been a little bit changed. And they've also re-enabled submissions, and builders have been given more logic, which is really funny because people complained how dumb they were before. Money is also more accurate. There has been a a nerf to money now. So if you're the player with the most money and the most income, then your income will be translated over to the other two, and it's only 60%, not 100%. So there's that. Another thing is that the max queued units for production has been changed from 5 to 6 troops now, which is pretty helpful. Oh, and that UI has been changed too, which is it fits the 5 to 6 now. And surrender has also been renamed to forfeit when selecting the core, but when it says it in the chat menu, it still says that they have surrendered, just to not mix up the confusion. And in Fog of War, the core will not reveal the surrounding tiles anymore. That was a feature added just to see, I guess, and they've removed that for some reason. I don't know why, but they have, and it's pretty sad. They have also updated new visuals. They increased the visual density of forest tiles, and they also removed the ability to rotate buildings with the middle mouse button during placement. That has been replaced by Q&E also. I tried that. I tried to zoom in with Q&E because that's what it was before, and I failed miserably. Trust me, it was freaking me out when I was turning. It was weird. Moving on, there's been an increase of the size of the core model to better reflect its importance, because it's important, I guess. And trees have also been a little bit more optimized so that for mobile players and stuff, or just people with bad PCs. And the max placement tiles have been upgraded from 3 tiles to 4 tiles, which is nice, I guess. That is when your buildings turn blue, by the way. So yeah. And then here are the rebalance changes. Okay, this is the last part of the video. So here we have, first off, with the buildings, anti-tank mine has increased. This has actually been completely buffed. Its health is now 100, and its damage now does 1500. The core has also received a massive buff. Like, it's like it can survive on its own against tanks now. So its health has now been over doubled from 3,500 to 8,000. That's a pretty significant amount. And the damage has now been upgraded from 40 to 130, which is also more than tripled the amount. Hospitals have also been given a slight health buff from 750 health to 800. Turrets have been nerfed and buffed at the same time. Their health has been upgraded from 850 to 1200. Their attack damage has also been upgraded from 24 to 40, but their attack speed, which is what makes them look so bad now, has been decreased from 2.2 to 2, which has made defense on ranked games and just games in general way nicer, because, you know, defense was pretty weird before. It made games last way too long and people didn't like it, so I'm glad they did make that change. Oil pumps have also been nerfed in terms of their health from 750 to 700, which is, I mean, whatever. I don't really get that, but okay. I mean, it probably did balance something, so good for that. Naval mines, along with the anti-tank mine, as I said before, have also been buffed, with the health being increased from 20 to 100, and the damage actually being slightly increased from 1200 to 1300. Houses have also been nerfed in terms of health as well, 650 to 600. Walls have been incredibly buffed, with their health being moved from 1000 to 1400, but also they now absorb splash damage, so they will protect turrets, units, anything behind them from rocketeers, tanks, all that. Maybe even destroyers too, because I think they do splash damage as well. Gates have also been received the same buffs, but its health has only gone from 800 to 1200, so having less health. On to the units rebalance changes. Submarine has gone a buff from 1100 health to 1700, and their attack damage has been changed from 400 to 1200. The missile truck has received a buff in order to balance it out with the missile defense. So here we have their health has been increased from 750 to 900, and their attack damage has been more than doubled from 350 to 800. However, they do cost a little bit more, from 6,000 to 8,000. The light tank has also received the same amount of buff / nerf, being their health has almost doubled from 550 to 1000, and their damage has been slightly increased from 125 to 200, but their cost has gone from 3k to 4.5k. The heavy tank, including the same nerf / buff, their health greatly increasing, more than double, 900 to 2000, and the attack damage being 140 to 350. Way more than double. Jeez. But their cost obviously being 7,000 now instead of the original 5.9. Humvee has also increased in health, going from 450 to 800, almost double. Their attack damage quadrupling from 25 to 100, and their movement speed going from 6 to 7.5. So all buffs. Destroy has also been incredibly buffed. Their health doubling from 1500 to 3500. Not perfect double, but still more than double. And their attack damage has also gone from 160 to 260. Almost double. Speedboats have also gone a slight move speed increase from 7 to 8.5. And the builder boat has received a slight decrease in health, going from 650 to 600, along with the builder going from 150 to 100. The gunner has also received a slight buff and slight nerf. Their health going from 150 to 300, their attack damage going from 45 to 160, both being buffs, and their cost being 450 to 700. So that so far, I think the units have been pretty fair. Medic has also gotten a slight buff from 150 to 200, which I think is pretty pointless. I don't really use medics. I know they're pretty good for if you have a bunch of tanks or something, but I don't really use them. Hospitals seem better, which I think their health thing was pretty useless too. Just at this point, just put walls around them. And you can't really put walls around a medic because it's an actual unit, so I think it's pretty useless. But Rocketeer has also been almost double damage, from 280 to 490, and their health going from 150 to 200. They already did quite enough damage, but I guess they thought they should be more. And now the Scout has 200 health. Used to have 150, and Sniper having that same health buff, and the attack damage doubling from 150 to 300, and the attack delay being halved from 2 to 1, which makes them more overpowered. And tons of bug fixes, I'm pretty sure there's only a couple bugs left after the update, which is very nice. But that is everything I have covered. Now, after that very in-depth, almost 25-minute video, taking up my 30 minutes of footage completely, like holy, I really had to get 3 games of mini empires out here just to explain everything that went on in this update. But there's more. Oh my god. Okay, so there are stuff that Avalanche has said. It's nothing big. It's just that he has stated that now that we're back, the community has returned. We have as I showed you at the beginning of this video, we are averaging now almost 3K. Or no, we're averaging almost 2K. Which is very, very nice. So, and he says that he has a lot more planned for the next updates, and he is hoping to add air units, maps, and more content, all that. So yeah, I think this is a very good next step for mini empires, and I know that 1.0, marking the game's full release, will be massive. It will I think it'll get 5K or even 10K maybe. Hopefully it does. So yeah. Well, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed your well-weighted, in-depth guide for the update, and I will see you all in the next one. Adios.